Representative Davnie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, would Representative Bennett yield to a question?
Shh. We're under announcements, Representative Davnie. Is this an announcement?
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to make the body aware of things that I just learned of today. When we passed
You rose under announcements? Is this an announcement?
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to announce that the Republican majority has agreed to significantly cut safe schools funding between what left the floor and what has been agreed to by the GOP majority of both bodies in the conference committee. I'd like to make the body aware that I want kids to be safe next year in school. But I also want them to be safe the year after that in school. But while the conference committee agreement cuts the funding for safe schools revenue,
Representative Pepin, for what purpose do you rise?
Schools next
Mr. Speaker, what point of where are we at in the agenda? Are we on announcements?
We are on announcements,
Mr. Speaker, this is not an announcement.
I'm quite aware that this is not an announcement.
Thank you.
Representative Davnie, this body in recent days has gone far beyond the use of the customary use of personal privileges and announcements. If you'd like to debate an issue before the body, you need to make a motion or bring a bill. Debate on issues is not appropriate under announcements, and it's not appropriate under points of personal privilege. So we're not going to use this time for that. If you have an announcement, I'd be happy to allow you to make that. An announcement customarily in this body is about an upcoming meeting or something of interest that might be coming up for the body. Do you have an announcement for the body? Do you have an announcement for the body? Representative
Mr.
Davnie.
Speaker, privilege of the House. Can somebody get on Mason's for me, please?
Mr. Speaker.
Representative Davnie, state your privilege of the House.
Mr. Speaker, privilege of the House includes correcting media reports that would reflect on the body. The media widely reported when the K-12 bill left this floor that it included significant revenues for safe schools efforts by our local school district. The recent agreement Tuesday in the conference committee significantly cut those revenues compared to what left the floor. There is a cut for this coming school year revenues for safe schools. But, Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, I not only want kids to be safe this year,
point of order.
I want them to be safe.
Representative Pepin, state your point of order.
Is it appropriate to talk about a bill that is currently being discussed in a bill that isn't even finished yet? Is that appropriate to discuss under a privilege of the House?
Representative Pepin, it is not. Representative Davnie, you will have an opportunity to debate the bill that you're talking about when it comes here to the House floor. That would be the appropriate time to point out that you're unhappy with numbers that are in that bill. It's my understanding that conference committee is still open and has not been finalized, so I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about on the House floor. But when that conference committee comes back here to the House floor, that would be the appropriate time to debate its content. Representative Davnie.
Mr. Speaker,
for what purpose do you rise, Representative Davnie?
Privilege of the House, Mr. Speaker.
What is your privilege of the House, Representative Davnie?
My privilege of the House relates to Section 221, subsection H of Masons. Mr. Speaker, the conference committee vote to cut safe schools funding happened on Tuesday evening. That is something that has already occurred, which is your and Representative criteria.
Representative Anderson, state your point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, is a motion to adjourn in order at this moment?
Not before we do a motion to set the time to reconvene, but I would invite that. Representative Pepin.
I move that when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 1 p.m. Saturday, May 19th, 2018.
Representative Pepin moves when the House adjourns today, it adjourns until 1 p.m. on Saturday, May 19th, 2018. All those in favor say aye.
Mr. Speaker?
Those opposed, no. The motion prevails.
Go team.
Representative Hortman, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Parliamentary inquiry.
State your point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, under what provisions of the rules is the Speaker entitled to use the mute button?
When a member is speaking over another member and has not gotten permission from the Speaker to address either the Speaker or the body.
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your point of parliamentary inquiry.
Where is that in the rules?
It's not in the rules.
Mr. Speaker, privilege of the House, will be brief. I would implore you to not use the mute button in the closing hours of the legislative session. I understand the minority can be frustrating to the majority, but Mr. Speaker, I think that you would have to acknowledge that this minority has been fairly agreeable and reasonable and has not inflicted pain on the majority just for the sole purpose of inflicting pain, and that at points in time the minority would like to articulate a point of view. That's part of our democratic system of government. And I would just encourage you that this last 2 days of the session are going to operate much more smoothly if we observe courtesy to one another than if we resort to extreme measures like a mute button.